Welcome to the Success with Listings podcast, where we help you get success in the real estate game the easy way. Now you can get off the roller coaster of feast and famine and out of the rat race of competing with every other agent in town. Hi, I'm Knolly Williams. I took over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in the real estate game, and in this podcast, I show you how to have success with listings. Let's go. When you're asking someone to list their home with you, the level of trust that you're asking for is, I'll give you an example. Most of the people that you sit down with would not trust the sale of their home to their own children. They wouldn't even trust their own kids with what you're asking them to hand you, right? That's their life savings. And so they're gonna throw objections, guys. That's just part of the game. And so when they start to throw the objections, now guess what? You get to say, oh, that's exciting. We're playing a game now, right? It's exciting. They're starting to object. That means I'm in the game. That means they're excited. They're interested. By the way, there's a technique that I teach in Success with Listings, and many of you may have picked up on it, but it's this whole idea of energy and converting your negative energy into positive energy, okay? And the whole concept is, and I want you to write this down, that's not fear, that's excitement, okay? That's not fear, that's excitement. So in the human body, in the Homo sapien, fear and excitement manifest themselves in very, very similar ways, okay? So let me give you an example. If I'm super duper excited, like I'm on The Price is Right, and I just want a brand new car, okay? I'm gonna start shaking, I'm not gonna be able to talk, I'm gonna be choked up, I'm gonna be sweaty, I'm gonna be paralyzed, I'm gonna be, it's gonna have the same look as fear. Although I'm not afraid, I'm just excited. I'm just so excited, Now, what's the difference between fear and excitement? From the outer perspective, there's only one difference in how it looks, because in the human body, fear and excitement manifest themselves very similarly, okay? So the only difference, guys, is a smile. That's the only difference, a smile. So whenever you're like you're driving up to the listing appointment, and I don't care how many listing appointments, when I was going on my 10th listing appointment of that month, okay, I still got those little butterflies in my stomach when I drove up to the front door. It doesn't go away. People are like, well, when does that feeling go away? Like when you're on stage and about to, I don't think it doesn't go away. You just do what you got to do, right? It actually goes away the minute you start to open your mouth and start to make the deal. You start talking. But as you're thinking about, even when I'm contemplating doing a roundtable, a meetup like we're doing right now, I start to get like a little, who wants to be on camera? The last thing I've ever wanted to do was be on camera. I'm an introvert, okay? An introvert does not like to be seen, right? So I'm one of those guys that's very comfortable behind the scenes, but that's not where God has me. So I have to step to the plate and perform. I got to do my thing. So when you're driving up to the house, you park, that's going to be your listing, because guess what? The universe would not have brought y'all together, okay? Things would not, God would not have brought y'all together if it wasn't something, either a lesson in it or it's your listing. So when I walk in, I'm always assumptive, okay? People talk about different closes, all kinds of different closes. I only know the assumptive close. When are we going to get started? Let's do the right thing and sign the paperwork. Let's get started now, right? And so whenever you have that feeling inside where you feel fearful, number one, surrender the fear. Number two, smile. Because everybody, if you're on stage, you're about to do a presentation, okay? Because many of you, I see that you're going to be on stage and you're going to be doing presentations and you're going to be building your downline that way, okay? But when you get up there, all you got to do is smile, right? Everything else, when you're doing like this and you're smiling, people are like, man, that boy's excited. Look at him, right? Even though I might be scared to death, it looks like I'm excited because I'm smiling, All right. That's a technique that I got to tell you, that's golden, guys. Not too many people teach that, but that's one of the things that you guys should write down, and that should be in your bag of tricks that you should be using from now on. So get over the whole idea of objections. They should have objections unless they were referred to you. And that's another reason why we want to know the referral source. Like the first question, one of the first questions I ask is, how did you hear about me? Okay, how'd you hear about me? Because you want to know how much work you're going to have to do on that deal. Okay, you also want to know how much marketing you have to do. But really, I mean, if somebody says, "Hey, my cousin so and so referred you to me," well, you know what a referral is? Write this down. Here's what a referral is. A referral is a transfer of trust. These are Knollyisms, guys. These are things that I've just gotten from the great consciousness, if you will. But I realized that one day I said, a referral is a transfer of trust. So to whatever degree the person trusts that individual that referred them, they will trust you. It's a transfer of trust. So I love it when somebody says, "Hey, my mom asked me to call you." Woo boy, we're going to have fun with this. I don't have to do any selling at all, or closing. It's closed. Mama told you to call me, it's on. You know what I'm saying? So a referral is a transfer of trust. Okay, so I want to get into why agents don't prospect. I think this is very important, not just for the people that are new, but more especially for the people that are seasoned in the business. Because many times what happens when an agent is seasoned in our business, they get lazy. Like, especially if they start getting a whole lot of business, they're like, man, it's on. I've got a list. You could have a listing appointment every single day, and I still would tell you, you've got to keep your pedal to the metal on your lead generation. Okay, that's the reason why I said lead generate every day for 2 hours. Okay, don't lead generate for 5 hours or 6 hours. Don't do that. Just lead generate every single day for 2 hours, and then in the afternoons you go on appointments. You go on your appointments, right? Because I get at the whole idea of people saying, "Oh, I don't want my business to get too big," or I'm comfortable with, those are cop-outs. Okay. Let God work through you. You don't know how big God wants to be or how big he wants to shine. Why let one of the things that I've been accused of, and I've done many times, is I've dimmed my light. I've dimmed my light. See, when I was a young kid, man, I was so happy. I was such a joyful kid. I still am. But man, I would I thought everything was funny. It was just one of those. Everywhere I went, I had a smile on my face. I was just a happy kid, And I started learning that not everybody's happy like that. Like, is there something wrong with me? So I started to dim my light. Why did I do that? Because I felt weird. Like, I'm walking up. Now, it's certain places you don't want to be walking up in a funeral home all smiling and cheerful and all that, right? And truthfully, I think that funerals should be joyous occasions, right? Because the scripture says, precious in the eyes of the Lord are the death of the saints. But, I understand, scripture also says mourn with those who mourn. So you have to be careful with that. So you have to show tact. So a lot of times what I would do when I walked up in a situation is I would just dim my excitement, because I'd be so excited. It would just be too much for people. Like, it would be like, man, this guy's it's just like overwhelmed for them. Now, so what I was doing was I was dimming my light. Why did I dim my light? The reason I dimmed my light was to give other people permission to feel small. Because when I felt small, when a lot of people feel small, they feel underappreciated. They feel like they're not up to snuff. They feel like they're not up to the task. And when you come in playing big, they don't like it. They start hating. They get jealous, or they get upset. Don't blame them. You can't blame them for being in the frame of mind they are. But what I found, guys, is when I dim my light, it takes a lot of energy to do that. It's like I'm just pushing it down. Don't dim your light. Why aren't you letting your business become as big as it wants to be? Okay. You're doing 5 deals a month. Why shouldn't it be 10? You're doing 10 a month. Why shouldn't it be 20? Okay. Now, if your business isn't growing, then that's another issue. Okay. But don't stop it from growing. Okay. It's very important for you to understand that. Big difference. Remember, most things, your idea of growing your business in your mind means that you have to do more work. And that's exactly the opposite. My dad used to teach me this all the time. He said, son, who are the people that work the most or that make the least amount of money is the ones that work the hardest. Okay. They make the least amount. If you had a McDonald's restaurant, okay, let's say you own 13 McDonald's, God help you. But let's say you own 13 of them. How much work are you really doing? Okay. It's automated. Like Michael Gerber teaches in the E-Myth, okay, the majority of your life can actually work on autopilot. So the more business you do, the less you have to work. Okay. You guys got to believe that. I remember when my coach first told me that, I just probably laughed out of my chair. I was like, you crazy. You know, I was trying to do 40 deals a year. She was like, why, Knolly, why wouldn't you do 100? I was like, why would I want to do 100 deals? That's stupid. She was like, Knolly, I guarantee you, if you focus on doing 100 deals instead of 40, okay, it's going to require a lot less effort. And on God, you know, on the throne of God, it's the truth. It's the truth. Absolutely the truth. So don't stifle your business, guys. A lot of you guys are doing that. And I'm sick of seeing it. I don't want to, I see more in you than what you're letting shine, right? So there really are, this whole concept of why agents don't prospect. We're on page 14. There really are only 5 excuses that I've ever seen. I'm going to go through these, and then I'm going to do some Q&A time. The 5 excuses that agents don't prospect. Number 1, I'm so busy, I just can't find the time. You know, we talked about this, that can you imagine your forefathers, you know, not being able to find the time to go hunt or to bring food for the village? I mean, that's the most ridiculous concept you could ever imagine. Okay. If you can't find time, you have a leverage problem. And that's the reason why I say lead generate every morning, okay? Every morning from 9 a.m. to 11 in the morning. So you don't have to find the time, it's already there. You just wake up and do that, okay? Don't schedule anything else during that lead generation time. Lead generate. Don't schedule anything else except the 3 things that you guys know that I teach you should be doing during your lead generation time. So, so the fact that you're so busy is never an excuse not to lead generate. Number 2, excuse that I've heard is I've tried to time block, but I keep getting distracted. That's the reason why I've taught you guys to have a lead generation bunker. Okay, you know what a bunker is, and I think Sabu mentioned this in one of his comments several months ago. He was talking about the idea of that a bunker is a safe place. You know, it's a safe place. It's a place of safety. I never thought about it that way, but he's actually right. So what you do when you're and I'm in my lead generation bunker right now. You notice how my wife, she tiptoed in. She gave me my breakfast, right? And she tiptoed back out. You know, my family understands and knows. Everybody in your family should understand and know that when Papa or Mama is in her lead generation bunker, you ain't bothering us, right? We're handling business. This is this is the family business right here. And I guarantee you, if you sit your kids down, you sit your spouse down, and you explain to them that you're going to make a commitment to be in your lead generation bunker, and here's what it's going to mean to the family. They're going to be behind you 100%. They'll be kicking your butt, like, get back in there. Get back in your lead generation bunker. Why are you out here? So when you come into your lead generation bunker, what you want to do, if you have the problem of getting distracted, you want to take any snacks, water, coffee, whatever you need in there so that you don't have to go back out of your lead generation bunker. In other words, back out, except for what we call a bio break. Okay, those are allowed. You go take your bio break for a few minutes and you get back in the lead generation bunker and do that, you know, because you, like I said, prospecting equals paychecks, not prospecting equals poverty. Okay, so Not being able to find the time. When you think about it, um, when you think about time blocking, I always ask agents like this. I say, "Did you brush your teeth this morning?" Yeah, I brushed my teeth. Okay, that's a time blocked activity. Okay. Did you take a shower? Yeah, that was a time blocked activity. Did you get dressed this morning? Yes, that was a time blocked activity. Did you make your bed? That's a time blocked activity. Every single activity or many activities in your life are time blocked. Think about it. When you worked a 9 to 5 job, that's a time block. You blocked from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night to, to rent yourself out to this employer. That was a time blocked activity. Okay. Every time blocks is something that here's a question I ask is, did you go to a movie when you worked a 9 to 5, did you go to a movie in the middle of your workday? Of course not. Because you were in your work time block. Now, let's say you go to a movie. Guess what a movie is? It's a time blocked activity. You think that if you go to a movie, you're going to be getting up and checking emails and doing all kinds of stuff in the middle of the movie? No. You time block 2 hours to watch a movie. When it's over, you get back to whatever else you were doing. It's the same thing. So excuse number 2, debunked, that you keep getting distracted or you couldn't find the time, is number 1. No, we can't go. We can't go for that. Number 3. Now this is a pretty good one. I just can't get into the habit of time blocking. Okay, and we're talking about this whole habit thing, because you do have a lot of habits. See, when you look at, I want you to write this down too. Where you are right now, okay, where you are right now in your life, what you have, what you own, what you do, where you are, is a sum total of the decisions that you've made. Okay, so every single decision that you make has an effect. Okay, and remember, just like Warren Buffett, we all have the same amount of time. We have 168 hours a week. We have the same amount of time, guys. Every single one of us has the same amount of seconds, minutes in a day, and hours in a week. Okay, we all have the same. So the difference is what you do with the hours you have, the time that you have. Okay, and so where you are right now is a sum of the decisions that you've made. So when you add up the decisions that you've made in your life, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to place this ad, I'm going to make this video, I'm going to call this person, I'm going to do. When you add all that up, that equals where you are. Okay, it's a sum total. Now, where we are is not just what we do. Okay, remember, write this down. I am a human being, not a human doing. Okay, I am a human being, not a human doing. Life, guys, is not about what you do so much as, and this is grammatically incorrect, but so much as what you be. Okay, you're a human being, not a human doing. Okay, so yes, it's important to do, but some of the things that you could be doing, right, is surrendering to God. Say, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to get these 10 listings this month, but you do. And so I'm going into my lead generation bunker, and I'm prayerful that you're going to lead me and guide me to exactly what I should be doing in order to achieve success. Okay, faith without works is dead, right? So we can have all the faith we want, but you will show your faith in the works that you do. Okay, so you gotta put action to it. It doesn't have to be hustle and grind, guys. It can be easy action, but there's got to be some action behind it. So when you think about this whole concept that all of the little choices and decisions that you've made equals where you are, you can see that it really boils down to habits. Habits. Okay, when you start to have certain habits, like I'm in the habit of drinking nothing but liquids before noon. Okay, so it's just a habit. It's not a diet. It's just a habit that I'm in, right? So this is like, for example, this morning we had I had the juice of 2 lemons with 24 ounces of water. First thing that I had this morning. Then I had 2 cups, 16 ounces of celery juice. It's about 1 stalk of celery juiced into a juice, look just like this. Now I'm on watermelon, okay? And then I'll graduate into fresh fruits and stuff in the afternoon. And then in the evening, I'll have whatever I want to have, okay? So that's just a habit. I've gotten to the habit of good eating. Everything in my life is habits, guys. The fact that I get up this morning, I did 2 hours of lead generation and it was rocking. You don't always see the results right away, but the results come. But it was this morning was rocking. It was really, really good. Think about it this way. In the morning, what you're doing is you're shaking the trees. You're shaking the trees. And in the afternoons, you're going and picking up the fruit, making it happen, right? That's when you go in your appointments, right? So again, habits. If you got bad habits right now, guess what's going to happen? You're gonna end up having what you don't want, or what you say you don't want. Okay. If you have good habits, you're gonna have what you want. So it's just as simple as changing the bad habits to good habits. It's that easy. It's that easy. Nobody's asking you to create more time in your day. You don't have to. In fact, you should be working less when you start implementing more of these techniques. Now, so that's excuse number 3 is I can't get into the habit. And the truth is you can get in the habit. You're just refusing to, okay? Can't and won't are 2 different things. Let me look at the comments here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So Robert says a bunker is a protective embankment or a dugout. No doubt about it. I like that, Mina. She said, let's soak that in. Let's see. Marcus says, and you are where you are at that moment because, hold on, let me get my glasses. Sorry, guys. There we go. And you are where you are at that moment because that's where you want to be, whether you want to admit it or not. Absolutely. I always tell people, you have what you want. And that's the truth. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but you have what you want. Now, the truth is, a lot of this happens from the subconscious level. Remember the power of your subconscious mind. It's not that you consciously choose poverty or that you consciously choose less than success. And I'm going to say less for success for you is whatever is less than what you want. So, because success is defined as what you want. What you want equals success. Okay. If you didn't want it, it wouldn't be success for you. Okay. If you wanted to, for example, if you wanted to live in squalor, get off the grid, not ever have to pay taxes and just go for handouts every day, nobody's hating on you. Maybe you've elevated to a level of consciousness where you don't want to play in this system anymore. That's fine, right? So you can go and be a hobo, and how can I judge that? If that's your goal, if that's what you want. What you want is your goal. So yeah, we all have what we want, but you got to remember, guys, there's a subconscious little thing in there that is there. It's and a part of you, which we call the ego, is trying to keep you safe, really trying to keep itself safe is what it's trying to do. But it also prevents you from hitting your ultimate greatness. Well, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Success with Listings podcast. If you are serious about taking your real estate career to the highest heights, making more money and helping more clients while working less hours and spending more time with your family, be sure to get your copy of my free book, Triple My Listing, absolutely free at successwithlistings.com. Now, you want to be sure that you subscribe to the podcast and check out successwithlistings.com to get your copy of my free book. Hey, I'll see you on the next one.